Welcome to another episode. Today we are talking about the energy of obligation, how to operate from a space that is more empowered, more aligned, and more free and fun. Today I wanted to dive into this topic for many reasons, one of which is just selfishly, I've been really processing and grappling and going inwards and taking it outwards and sharing it with my clients, with my partner. It's just been so present in my life lately that when we are operating from this place of obligation, we're doing ourselves a disservice. And the thing is, not only are you doing yourself a disservice, you are operating in your business in a way that's not in alignment with you, in an energy that is holding you back, in this just kind of mentality that fundamentally you need to sacrifice what you desire, which is the life, the business of your dreams, the reality that you've been working towards. We're done. There is no more of this obligation energy. And today we're going to dive into not only why, because I think on the surface, it's obvious. We get why. Obligation, yeah, that's a shitty energy. I don't want to be doing things out of obligation. Like there is a visceral repellence to that. It does not resonate, it does not align, and it does not feel good even within the mind. So why do we keep falling back into it? So we're going to dive into all of that today. And if you know that this is something you need to work on, I invite you to have pen and paper at the ready, to take this seriously and to truly set the intention that today gets to be the day that you honor and own the fact that there is no more obligation in your life. And even if it's not as easy as that for you, maybe there is a lot of systems, a lot of places in your life where obligation is really buried very deeply, set very firmly into the foundation. Set the intention today that that's no longer going to continue. And it may take some weeding, and it may take some effort, and it may take some freaking hard internal and external work, but you are ready, you are willing, and you are wanting to do it. The energy of obligation. When we are tapping into this, it might show up in the ways of, I have to do this again. Or why can't I operate my business in a way like this? And you can list off a bunch of things immediately, but that's not how it is. And you kind of talk yourself out of wanting a different schedule, a different routine, a different setup, a different strategy, a different way of working. That is clear evidence that you're operating in the energy of obligation. Energy of obligation can also be more sneaky than that. It's not just I feel obliged to do it, or I feel like I can't get out of it. It can be very, very sneaky and come through in the form of feeling disconnected. Think about your life, think about your business, just, broad strokes, look at what's happening right now in your present and ask, is there anywhere that I'm feeling disconnected? Now, disconnection can come from multiple places, but let's examine it through the lens of where is that disconnection being facilitated because of an underlying, a sneaky, a little bit of a slippery obligation energy. You might not be showing up in your business in certain areas in the way that you've decided and the way that you've determined and the way that you've maybe written down or worked on with your coach, because at the base level, there is obligation there. I'm only trying this strategy because my coach told me to. I'm only working 5 days a week because, that's what we always have to do, right? I'm only insert your thing here. And really freaking insert your thing there, please. Where are you operating from obligation? Where do you feel disconnected? Where do you feel disempowered in your life, in your business? Take the time to find it. Because the energy of obligation, it might get you to do stuff. We've all been there. Oh my God, I feel obligated to put this thing together because it's due tomorrow, or the person is expecting it, or I made a promise. Yeah, you might be whipping yourself into work, whipping yourself into shape, and even whipping yourself into results because you've embraced the kind of toxic system of obligation. But you are here to be soul-led and satisfied. not to be disempowered, disconnected, and operating from obligation. So let's rewire that today. Plant the seed that there is a way to work, to accomplish, to be successful, and to have massive results that doesn't come from a ground that has been infected through obligation. I think I've said the word obligation like 10 million times already. I haven't been counting, but that's a ballpark figure. So let's move on to a different word. I'll say it one more time. When we are working from obligation, we are compromising ourselves. We are compromising our connection to self, to source, and to the true service you want to do in the world. You don't want to gift someone your service, your offer, your time, your product, and have attached to it this icky energy of, yes, obligation. This becomes an integrity issue when we look at it like that. It's not just about how you become productive. Because truly, if it was just a way to work and it worked for you, you would have no reason to change it. Let's admit it. However, it is seeping into yourself, into your service, and it is something we need to address. And I hope you feel the urgency of this, because as soon as you can cleanse and clear and release and really let go of this energy of obligation, you get to surrender to the energy of service, to the energy of opportunity, to the energy that feels really good, not just because it's no longer the grind and it's no longer the draining sensation that comes from being in that other energy. It now gets to be in total alignment and be fulfilling for you and for them being anyone connected to this. Let's talk about, well, how do you switch? How do you go from energy of obligation to energy of opportunity? Well, the first thing is to really embrace the fact that this change can happen. I was working with a client this week and we're really talking about how she truly desired, and so many of my clients want this, and I bet so many of you out there listening to this will be like, yeah, that's me too. Want to break free from the hustle, from the grind, and from the incessant story that says, this needs to be hard. I need to suffer. I need to be proving and striving and really clawing my way uphill, or else I won't get to where I want to be. Success only comes on the other side of suffering, right? Reward only comes through really, really, really hard work that, yes, probably isn't in alignment, because that's how I've been taught and that's how I've been told and that's how it's always been. Oh, but I want it to be different. I want flow, I want ease, I want grace. I want to feel magnetic to opportunity, magnetic to showing up in my business, to creating things, to serving, to getting out there. What if social media could be this opportunity to flex your magnetic muscles? I want that. And yet there is that sneaky belief that says it's not possible. So the first thing you need to do, and write this down, is work on the belief that it is possible to you to release obligation and to embrace opportunity, to disconnect suffering from success, and to really embrace that when you are in alignment and when you are enjoying yourself and when you feel gloriously in flow, that is the biggest flex. And that truly is going to be the way you need to be operating in your business to succeed. Getting success and being depressed, being totally spent, burnt out, resentful, and all of it based on obligation and struggle and strife and hustle, and I could list all those words and you know what they are, that is not success. That is ticking a box, that is buying a car, that is getting in debt. That is not your success. The first thing is to claim that belief shift is possible and that the way you can work can change. The second is to start reminding yourself of this constantly and continually. When you sense yourself, and you're going to start sensing this now that I've brought it to your attention, I've shown the light, I've been like, hey, this is what the energy of obligation looks like, feels like, and what it does to you. It's poison. You're going to notice it. Are you dragging yourself into the office? Stop that. Get out of the office. Do not walk in dragging your feet, moaning, complaining, resisting, and resenting. Work on yourself, work on your shit, and release that so that you can step into your office empowered, full of the enthusiasm that got you into business in the first place, looking for, connected to, curious about what opportunities are ahead of me today. If you're thinking, Nikki, I just need to get into the freaking office. I need to check my emails. I need to work with that client. I need to do this thing. How about this? Make it a little bit of a ritual so that when you go to your office, you stop in front of the door, or before you open up your laptop, you pause, you check in, you center, you ground, you check for any obligation energy, and you empower yourself by releasing it and then inviting the energy in that you truly desire. And you get to just choose what that is. Maybe it's the energy of opportunity. That's what it is for me. Maybe it's the energy of curiosity. Maybe it's the energy of lightheartedness, carefreeness, of divine devotion. Make it yours, make it juicy, make it desirable. And once you choose it, curate it. That means practice those thoughts, practice those beliefs, practice tapping into that energy, practice reminding yourself, this is how I want to think, this is how I want to feel, this is how we have chosen to operate in our business. And practice. So you choose to believe the belief, you choose to practice the belief, you hold yourself to account. Notice when you do it, notice when you don't. No guilt, shame, or blame here, simply awareness. Keep it fresh in your mind. Allow yourself to refresh your energy as much as needed. I will say, there will be relapses. We are human. We are not robots. We are not perfect. We are imperfectly, gloriously human, and stuff happens in life. You have a bad day. It's easier to fall back into obligation. You have a strict deadline. It's easier to fall back into obligation. You had a really tough customer conversation. It's really easy in those moments to slip back into obligation. And even if you do, forgiveness, love, compassion, and then make the choice to reset your energy, invite in what it is you truly desire, and then allow yourself to do the very beautiful, important internal work of creating from soul outwards the life and business you desire, one that is free of obligation and one that is full of opportunity. This to me really is something that is coming through so strongly, not just for me, for my clients that I'm working with, my one-to-one clients in particular, because they're like on this fast track to being like, I want to evolve and I want to up level and I want every single aspect of my life to be buzzing and juicy and fun and glorious and so freaking authentically me. This is like just saturating our conversations, and I'm absolutely loving it. And it's seeping into the membership and the mastermind and even my free social media content. You will notice me talking about this stuff. That's how important it is. That's how prevalent it is. That's how much it is just circling my communities, my space in the world, and I think so many other spaces as well. Because we are all calling out, all of us soul-led entrepreneurs, for more flow, more devotion, more magnetism, more magic. Because the forcing way, the trying way, the hustle way, the old school, it's going out. It's seeping out. It's like circling the drain. And let's just, wash it down a little bit quicker so we can get on with the truly magical stuff we're here to do. You desire it. I know it. And you deserve it to be creating a life and business that you love. And it's harder. It's harder than the traditional way because that is so deeply ingrained in not just society, but in our psyches. And it is your job and it is your gift and it is your freaking opportunity, not your obligation, your opportunity to do this work. Because when you do, when you shed the shit, when you release the layers, when you allow yourself to open up and actually figure out what it is you want, because you might find when you do this work, and I pretty much guarantee that you will, sorry, not sorry, that when you start to do this work, when you start to detach obligation, when you start to release all of this conditioning, what you want might change, and that's going to be scary, and I'm here for you, okay? So keep coming back here, keep reaching out to me on social media, and if there's anything that you feel would really serve you, I want you to let me know. Maybe I've already run a class on it. Maybe there's a masterclass out there I can direct you to. Maybe it means you're ready to join one of my communities, or maybe you want to work with me one-to-one, and I say maybe because that's a serious commitment to self, to source, to the service that you bring to the world, because we're going to go hard and we're going to go deep and we're going to make so much magic. And if you're ready for that, let's freaking do this. Like, you will have a fire lit within you as you heard me talking. That is your cue to reach out to me, because it might be painful, but it's going to make you so freaking powerful. And I'm excited for that. And when you start to feel that power, I want you to honor it. I want you to own it. I want you to celebrate it, because even that slight shift, that 1 millimeter shift of your compass is changing everything. Thank you for joining me today. This has been absolutely freaking phenomenal and amazing. I could rant and rave and totally keep educating you on this for hours. Maybe that's my cue to run a masterclass. Let me know if you'd love a masterclass on the energy of obligation and how to step into your true power and authenticity. That almost came out too easily. I'm like, maybe it has to be a masterclass. And let me know as well if there's anything else that has resonated, that has landed, and that you've been inspired to do. And remember, inspired to do could be internally, could be externally. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.